Hey everyone, this is Zangus here, and today I'm going to give you my first impressions of Silent Thunder. So I am a huge fan of War Thunder, and I've been playing it for the last couple of months, and basically fallen in love with the game, and only until recently has this game been released. So it is the 31st of March, and as soon as this came out, I thought it would be really fun to give it a go, but then I also thought it would be fun to maybe do a video on it. And this is from a really big fan of War Thunder. So let's give it a go. So the way it works is that you download the game, you actually download War Thunder, and I think a lot of fans were worried this was going to be a separate game, but it's not. What it seems to be is a plugin for War Thunder, which is great, because I did actually install it, but then I realised I didn't need to. So you can just launch the War Thunder, and then it should be able to work. So yeah, this will be my first impressions. I'm not going to do like a massive game, I'm not going to do half an hour, I'm just going to do sort of a quick 10 minutes. I've put the settings on high, so they're not on ultra, but they are on high, and they should be running at around 60 FPS. So the reason I'm restarting it is because the game crashed. Bit of a shame because it's not exactly a good start. I've played War Thunder probably hundreds of times on this PC, so the fact that this isn't running well is a good sign that maybe the beta just isn't ready yet. It could just be an unlucky glitch, but let's give it a go. Take part. Hopefully this time it will work, fingers crossed. It won't crash. Okay. Sun and camouflage, users can disabled. Got statistics. Okay. Should be ready to go. Okay. So, okay, so we have W and S for forward, A and D, depth control, and then B to stop. Okay. So let's start with the graphics. Already sort of the engine and the idea of it is we start right from the back of the map of our own team. So sort of exactly the same idea. So what I like about this is how it's easy to grasp. I haven't had any tutorials in this whatsoever, and I still don't really know how to use the controls, but the fact that I can kind of work it out is really nice. I think the concept is really interesting. This is completely different to War Thunder with tanks or War Thunder with planes. The environment is completely different. And I can easily look around. It's really cool. So, what we can already do is get a different sort of camera system. So I actually really like that because it gives a really nice detailed and clear view of the map. So what I want to know now is how to go down. Let's go to F1, and then go to depth control is E and D. So what's also cool is that you can literally smash into the ice, and then you can't actually go anywhere without it. Okay. Okay, I am now stuck. Depth control, it says E and D, and it doesn't say which one is up or down. Machine engine is W and S, and then another control is A and D. So that appears to be taking us back. So, let's get the engine stopped there. How do we go down? Okay, well this is a very interesting first impressions because I don't know how to control this. Okay, so now we have a missile. I didn't mean to launch that at all. Okay. So maybe I can just literally sit back and do this. I don't want to try anything else because I don't want to smash into it. So there we look like we have a teammate there. I don't want to know what happens if I try. There's probably chances are that I could be doing this for ages. Oh, appears to be someone over there, but they've gone. So I think for people with sort of graphics with bad monitors, this might be really difficult to play because I don't necessarily have a very powerful GPU, but I've been able to play settings with 1080p on ultra settings quite easily. So it's a relatively good GPU, and this is quite difficult to see. Now, it's not on ultra settings at the moment, but just on high settings, it's already quite difficult. So if you've got sort of a low GPU, low power GPU with maybe a crappy monitor, this might be quite difficult to play. I'm going to try F, because I don't know what that does. There's G, apparently. Okay. And it seems that I've barely made a difference. So I'm going to try and smash into this and try and work out if I can move. Okay. So I'm still back to where I am. No, I didn't want to do that. 3 kilometers away. So what I would like to know is whether the enemy actually knows if a missile's coming. I'm assuming they do because they have radar systems, but how accurately they know, for example, how fast it's going and stuff like that. Okay, so there was one there, but it's disappeared. Oh. I didn't know if that was an actual submarine or not. So I think this type of game is definitely the type of long distance game. So I much prefer the quick action, whereas this is quite long. Oh, we have one there. Oh, so I destroyed a target, which is really interesting. So maybe let's try that again. I don't know really how near they are, but I think what I'm going to do is try one more missile, and then if that's not working, stop the game, because it's been an interesting go, and I might play it a bit more. But again, this is the idea of my first impressions. So I guess first impressions overall, I did have a bit of difficulty. Maybe I could have looked at the instructions a little bit better, but it wasn't very clear because it sort of said that up and down in terms of depth was E and D, and that wasn't working for me. It could have just been that I was out of fuel. There could be loads of factors. Maybe you have to be going forward to go down. I don't know. But maybe they could have done a better tutorial. It's also possible that I'm just not a very good gamer. Who knows? That was my first experience from playing War Thunder an awful lot. So yeah. So actually, maybe it looks like the game is not coming towards an end, but getting near the end, because both teams, it's actually quite close. But yeah. So I think the radar map is really interesting, but it doesn't seem to show where the enemy is, because I've got an enemy here in front of me, but it's not really showing on the other map. Okay, so there was one behind us, and it appears to have disappeared. I don't know where it went. Okay. So that one... So I wonder what G is. So maybe... Oh, I actually have no idea what G is. So I still can't understand the problem with the depth. So maybe you have to use the cursor. Okay. Okay, so there are actually now quite a lot of them around us. It seems that the enemy team are just coming in a lot nearer. Usually I found that happens quite a lot with War Thunder. Another thing I would like to know is how the other person defends. So I'm guessing the only way they can defend themselves is either go forward, move out the way, or shoot another missile. But again, that's just not very clear. I think maybe they could have done a better tutorial. There probably is a tutorial for this, but I'm surprised they'd expect people to know. Maybe there is something I'm missing, but yeah. Okay. So I've usually found that one of the most effective tactics, especially playing tanks in War Thunder, is actually to stay back and scope them out, because everyone gets, I think, a little bit excited and just goes straight forward into the battlefield and then gets taken out by people like me that are not even moving and just firing loads of missiles. Sometimes when I'm doing War Thunder with tanks, I do like to go straight into it because I quite like the one-on-one. But this is definitely a different type of strategy. I think I will play it more. It's just I think I need to understand the game more. Okay, so I've been destroyed. So yeah, I don't know if I'm guessing I get 1 life. No, I do actually, but I'm going to choose not to because that was my first impressions. I enjoyed it quite a lot, but again, I need to do a bit more research and find out how to use it more, and maybe they could have included a better tutorial. So there's my first impressions. Thanks very much for watching.